went back in time to kill the evil from the future. As his shouts echoes in the woods saying, "Cook, gwa!" Jermaine Luther said to himself, after being born in the St. Michaela Monastery and walking down the path of faith my whole life, as Jermaine Luther ran away, he was tripped by a spear, and he fell down, and he said to himself, I have had many moments when I wanted to ask if God really existed. Jermaine Luther looks back in fear, and he saw Corin Locke and said to himself, but now I know one thing for sure, the devil is certainly real. Corin Locke with a sinister voice said, now this is the end. Jermaine Luther covers his head and said, as he cried and opens his eyes and felt a warm hand on his head. Jermaine Luther said, huh? Corin Locke said, you've got more guts than I expected. Nice to meet you. I'm Corin Locke. As Corin Locke helped Jermaine Luther stand up, Jermaine Luther said to himself, Corin Locke. Suddenly he remembered, and he said to himself, that's the man who fought Lunia Arden head on. Corin Locke said, I was looking for skilled people among the first years. Aside from the princess, you were the best. How about it? Want to work with me? As Corin Locke extends his hand and continues to say, I always welcome skilled people, Jermaine Luther said, oh, yes, I will do it. Corin Locke said, haha, yeah. And he said to himself, the first thing I need to do in this hunting ground. Jermaine Luther looks at his hand and said to himself, I cannot believe I was chosen by Corin Locke. Corin Locke said to himself, is to scout Jermaine, a spy of the order. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. As Jermaine Luther saluted at Corin Locke and said, have a good day, Corin Locke said to himself, 1 hour after the test started. A student said, die, beast. As Ron punt the weapon of the student and it shatters, Ren looks behind and said, Ron, you. I said, check their back pockets as well. Take it all. Take their armbands and everything. Ron said, okay. Ren said, let's go if you've got everything. Ron said, more and more people are attacking us. Is it because we are demi-humans? Ren said, it's because we are both second-ranked knights, so they want our armbands. Taking the armbands of our seniors is worth more points, but they are too strong. So they're trying to take armbands from people in their own grade to get points. In the last part of this test, they said you would be able to trade them in for prizes. Let's go there right away. Suddenly, Ron stopped and said, looks like we're almost there. The cottage there should be, huh? Ren said, why is it on fire? Suddenly, the ground shakes. As Ren said, is this an earthquake? What is that? Miriam Elizabeth L. Ross said, our second-year seniors. As the sign said, the prize is at the peak. Miriam Elizabeth L. Ross said, just what are they doing? How interesting. I like it. Aside from the smell of beast fur, that is. Miriam Elizabeth L. Ross enters the tower and said, was it made by a druid? It would be hard to destroy. I guess we need to try going on. The other said, what are you waiting for? Follow the princess. Ron said, what do we do? Ren said, let's go to the other entrance. Ron said, yep. Ren said, I do not want to enter the same place as her. Suddenly Ren was attacked by a sword, and she said to herself, though, maybe we should have just joined them. As Ron said, ooh, Ren said, isn't this too much? As Doran Worski continues to attack them, Doran Worski said, these are the conditions that were presented by the one who hired me. I was told not to go easy on any of you. A few moments later, an assassin hides on the ceiling and said to himself, infiltration successful. The layout is simple. There are 3 entrances, 3 rooms, and 3 guardians. As he thinks of the first entrance with Alicia Arden as guard, second entrance with Doran Worski as guard, and third entrance with UL as guard, and he said to himself, then the corridors join, and there are 2 rooms on the 2nd floor. Lastly, there's the 3rd floor. As he looks at Corin Locke from a distance and Corin Locke spins his spear and said to, there is no way you should be here already, though I did hear that among the first years, there was someone skilled in stealth. As he throws his spear towards the assassin said to himself, I thought it would hit, but it missed by a large amount. The spear curved unnaturally. Suddenly the spear resonates and the assassin said to himself, what is this weird feeling that feels like it is messing with my soul? A system notification said, Death God's Orban will always hit the mark and will separate the body and spirit, ignores defense power. The assassin said to himself, my concentration is fading. My stealth is running out. Corin Locke said, first year, second-rank knight, Rashid ad-Din Mustali. Is that technique from an assassin clan? Rashid ad-Din Mustali said to himself, he knows of it. How? Rashid ad-Din Mustali said, I'm sorry, but you should not have mentioned that. As he jumps at the back of Corin Locke immediately kicks him as he said in pain, Ugh, Rashid ad-Din Mustali slides away and said, What? And he took out a whip and said, I guess it cannot be helped. As he attacked Korin Lok, but Korin Lok managed to dodge and said, wow. And he continues to dodge and said, whoa, not bad. Korin Lok grabs his spear and said, but if I do this, Korin Lok said to himself, the assassin clan of the criminal world, then what are you going to do? Rashid ad-Din Mustali said to himself, I hated those teachings filled with bloodshed. I came to the academy hoping I might live another life, one that was not defined by assassination. I left my people behind. However, if revealing my identity puts my entire clan in danger. As he opens his shirt revealing bombs, and he said to himself, the only way to protect the secret is through his death, as the bombs exploded, and the flames spread. Korin Lok let out a breath. Phew, you are playing with dangerous toys. Rashid ad-Din Mustali stood, shocked and confused. Korin Lok added, but thankfully fire and heat are my area of expertise. As he held the sun in his palm, light glowing brightly from his hand, he continued, you deserve a reward for coming this far. Go up and claim your points. Rashid ad-Din Mustali looked at him in disbelief. Korin Lok continued, oh, and it does not matter whether you trained in assassination, swordsmanship, or magic. That stealth ability might be necessary very soon. The second task I needed to complete in this hunting ground, Korin Lok turned to Rashid. I need your help with something, was to test the skills of the first years who show promise. At the same time, the Gold Wolf siblings, first floor, Dronworski muttered, I was told to do a proper job. Almost died to the demonic sword, he thought. But they passed. Second floor. Warren smiled. Try your best. I cannot control my strength against you, she thought. Pass. She gave Ron and Ren a thumbs up. Ron said, Ren, this scent. Ren replied, I know. Korin Lok raised his spear. Whoa, you are here? Ren exclaimed, it's Korin. What is going on? I heard the test is way harder than last year. A spear flew past her face, slamming into the ground. Ren froze, shocked. Ren cried out, What is this? Korin Lok immediately kicked Ron. Gwa! Ron shouted in pain. If you are here to fight, Korin Lok said coldly, do not look away, no matter what. That is how you die. Ren stood stunned. Did you not just hear what I said? Korin Lok barked. He activated his skill, Tiger, sweeping, wind. What I said, Korin Lok shouted again as he and Ren clashed. It does not feel great, Korin Lok thought, but it cannot be helped. Whew, that was tough. Wah. The last thing I must do in this hunting ground is ensure these kids can pull their weight. And Ren and Ron transformed and attacked by pushing them to grow strong. Now, Korin Lok declared, let us end this. As long as it is not a full moon, suppressing beast instincts is relatively easy. However, being fully transformed is a different story, 100% pure violence. In their final form, they retain a completely human appearance, but they are not yet fully matured, so they remain in beast form for now. Isn't it harder this way? While transformed, Ron, usually as meek as a lamb, becomes a bloodthirsty rabid dog, and on top of that, I have to fight two of them. Communication between beasts is wordless, yet they coordinate attacks seamlessly. These siblings have braved danger together their entire lives. They leave no openings. And Ren lunged, but Korin Lok gritted his teeth. Hub! He struck Ren, sending her flying. Ron charged forward with a growl. Ah! Korin Lok narrowed his eyes. So you will save your sister? Even so, you should not stop your feet. While your sister is being attacked, instead of trying to save her, you should attack your enemy. He kicked Ron. Ron flew backward, growling, Grah! That is another error in judgment, Korin Lok said. Wrath should be kept cold. He landed a heavy blow. Kyling! Ron howled. If you have time to cry, Korin Lok snapped, then at least look at your opponent. Every second you hesitate is a second your opponent seizes. Ren suddenly appeared behind Korin Lok. Good, he said without turning. It looks like the older sister is better than the younger brother. But your attacks, they need to be precise. You cannot just attack wildly because you are angry. You must accurately strike vital points. He struck with his spear. Ren gasped in pain. Kyuk! When Ren and Ron collapsed, lying on the ground. Korin Lok looked down at them. Get up. Keep moving until your hands and feet are broken, until your body is torn apart. That is real life. Ren trembled in pain, breathing hard. Huff, huff. We did not know anything. Was Big Brother fighting these kinds of terrifying battles each time? And Korin Lok raised his spear. Ren, terrified, hit her head. Hake! She opened her eyes and was confused. Korin Lok was carrying her. But shouldn't this be enough for now? As expected, it is hard to be cruel to these two any longer. I could not make them reach their final form in just one fight. But still, they now understand what it means to fight, and they have steeled their hearts. That is more than enough. St. Coronlock smiled gently. There. It was really scary, right? Did Appa rush things a bit? Sorry. Ren blinked through tears. Who? Then crying, she hugged him. Who is my Appa? Boss, you are so mean. Ron bawled like a little girl. Wow. Ren sobbed. Who? Will you just treat us like children? Coronlock laughed. Yeah, I am just too mean. But your situational judgment was excellent, and your physical abilities are top tier. Even though you did not defeat me, you still pass. So go on up, Coronlock said to himself. Relief and resentment. Ren and Ron sobbed. Ooh-wah. Sniff. Coronlock continued in thought. Though the siblings felt a sense of relief in that broad embrace, they vowed to never need it again. Suddenly, someone clapped slowly in the distance. Coronlock turned his head. He saw Miriam Elizabeth L. Ross, who said, They went up so long ago, yet you are still standing there? Puppies have exceptional physical abilities. But even while fighting two of them, you look like you were just playing around. Amazing, Coronlock replied. I am currently acting as an examiner. Puppies, if you want to pass this exam, you must defeat me. But if I am facing you, princess, I cannot play around like I did with those siblings. Because if you pull out that thing you are hiding in your dress, I will be forced to fight at full power, no matter what. Miriam Elizabeth L. Ross smirked. I took my dress off last time, but you did not fall for it then either. She threw her band, and it fell to the ground. Miriam said, Miriam will fail here. She licked her lips. Coronlock thought to himself, Princess Miriam, what she has hidden in her dress is a snake familiar. Yet even though I revealed that I know about her secret weapon, she did not show the slightest hint of surprise. It will be difficult again, like last time. I do not know what I should do with that person. At the top of the tower, a man asked, What is it? His friend replied, What is written there? The post said, Back to the entrance. A student yelled, What the heck does this mean? Which they all grew furiously frustrated. Later that night, a student complained, Ah, shucks, if it just were not for that clown scoundrel. His friend said, Hey, do not call your senior a scoundrel. Another added, That clown senior's name was Coronlock? I have heard it before somewhere. The first student said, According to the rumors, he is the future son-in-law of the Dunalev family, but he is also engaged to Lunia Arden. His friend replied, He is a crazy nutcase. Coronlock suddenly burst out laughing. Hey-hey-hey-oh. A student began to sweat in fear. That's... Coronlock said, Welcome, my dear first years. Ha-hey. Oh. Ha. Was the practice fun? He poured the wine. A student screamed, That scoundrel. I feel like I am going insane just from hearing that laugh. Coronlock announced, These are the rewards that should have been distributed to you all during this practice. There will, of course, be rank 4 and rank 5 magic stones and other high-ranking items. He leapt down and said, Do you know what you and these items have in common? You both burn easily. A student cried, That crazy goofball. Suddenly, the pile of items exploded. Coronlock yelled, Kia ha 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 ha! The fruits of your tuition are burning in flames. A student shouted, Oh, our rewards. The results of the exam. Another screamed, Oh, one hit. That scoundrel just let me get one hit on him. Let me go. Darn it, let me go at him. His friend replied, I am not holding you back. Another added, I think I am going to lose it. My gifts, magic stones, key tech. When suddenly, Mariette Dunalev arrived and said, Hello, guys. A student gasped, Ma. Mariette Sr. and a chest? As the chest opened, no way, those are rank 3 magic stones. Another shouted, Those are rank 2 magic stones, Coronlock said. Now, I am introducing the generous craftsmen who will make your weapons for free. A student screamed, Wow, they are the top blacksmiths from the capital, Coronlock said, and a round of applause for the people who transported the materials and the blacksmiths. 3rd year Mariette Sr. and 2nd year Huaran Sr. Alicia Arden added, You are all hungry, right? These are gourmet dishes made with the best ingredients that will blow our dining hall's food out of the water. There is even honey bomb candy. Coronlock shouted, Eat, drink, take it all. That is how you get stronger. Enjoy this moment. Students muttered to themselves, Did we somehow misunderstand this hero? Coronlock raised his cup and said, After all, today is a day for you all. Coronlock thought the ingredients and chefs were transported by Mariette. Mariette Dunalev offered, Would you like a potato? A student took it and blushed. Wow, senior, you are so pretty. Corin Locke reflected. In the meantime, the scammer blacksmiths, whose weaknesses had been exposed, were all summoned by Hwaron. Hwaron said, use them well. A student whispered, she was so scary earlier, but now she is so friendly. Alicia Arden added, but... As Corin Locke looked at the students feasting, she continued, most expensive magic stones that you gave to 400 people were all on you. Are you really all right? St. Corin Locke wiped his clown makeup and said, well, aside from liquid assets like the inn, I did spend my entire net worth, but money is not what is important. Alicia Arden shrieked, Ka! That is so gross. Corin Locke thought, what is always more expensive than money are their lives. He remembered his past experience. Students screaming, I do not want to die. Corin, save me. He continued thinking, our race to make money from the beginning for this moment, and I was able to give my juniors access to magic stones and craftsmen like I planned. They cannot become a fighting force just by giving them expensive equipment. The juniors started to party hard. A student said to Alicia Arden, Sunbae, come dance with us. Alicia Arden replied, me. Corin Locke continued thinking to himself, but the survival rate should go up significantly. Even if I do my best, my anxiety never goes away. Alicia Arden looked back at Corin Locke and said seductively, Corin? Corin Locke thought, I cannot help but feel that way. Especially this time. Keeping Jermaine by my side, recruiting Rashid, and pushing Ren and Ron. Those were all parts of the preparation. The background of the next trial, which is looming ever closer. Alicia Arden asked, Corin? Where did he go? Corin Locke thought, is almost here, at Merkaba Academy. In the distance, a man held a lantern and said, that experiment, that is neither beast nor human, must be retrieved. It was Red Magic Faction Leader, Elder Admalik. Black Magic Faction Leader, Elder Morshutan said, since all of the preparations are finished, it should fall nicely into our hands, especially since even the Golden Mage is participating. Elder Admalik said, Mariette Dunalev, that vampire. Elder Morshutan added, must be retrieved by our Mage Tower. It was the 4-chapter Magic Tower incident. Corin Locke thought to himself, the main scenario is incoming. Originally, under the pretense of researching the Grand Library's archives, they would have abducted the vampire girl and conducted experiments in the basement. But history will be twisted, because this man will be waiting. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who took the time to watch this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider sharing my videos or channel with your friends who might also enjoy it. Your support means the world to me and helps my channel grow. Let's keep this community thriving together. Until next time, see you in the next video.